The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. Finally, the house is healthy.
Hey, and I am Jeff. I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I must say our house is finally all clear of bacteria and germs.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but no one's immediately sick.
Yeah, the deadly ones, the ones that infected us all.
Oh my God, we have been trying. How long have we been trying to get on a call, Jeff? It's a month of just illness.
Oh, at least.
And
yep.
My God. I don't know what it is about this season, but this has just been, that was just horrific.
That was brutal.
My guy had, my small one had pneumonia. Straight up.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah, straight up pneumonia.
Serious.
They call it walking pneumonia. So he's still energetic, but he definitely has
Yeah, it doesn't slow him down, but he's sick.
He doesn't. I get no respite, but he's super sick.
Yeah, that one. Gotcha.
The other one was sick. Us parents are sick. Just everything is sick. And everybody at school keeps getting re-sick because, of course, the kid doesn't show it at first. He infects everybody else, and that's just this cycle of illness.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it took, we had sickness go around here, and I was out. I have never been off work, multiple days in a row because of sickness. Here's and there's, I don't feel so good. This thing knocked me off my butt. I was in the couch, just cuddled up watching Netflix for a good 2-3 days. And then had to go on a field trip. I had signed up for my kids' field trip, which was to a museum, which I wanted to go to, but it was horrible. It was just recovery time.
Oh, that was just pain. I'm next. I've avoided it, so it just means I'm due.
Oh yeah,
I'm due to die. So it's just gonna be.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. So tell me this: what is the last game you played? Because I have no idea what you're playing these days. It's been a bit. What's the last couple games that you've played? Titles.
The last game, Mario Rabbids on Switch.
Really?
Actually really enjoying that one.
Back to the well. That's interesting.
Yeah. Love it. Beyond that...
Is that with kids or is it just yourself?
It's kids watch.
Kids watch. Okay.
And my 9-year-old, there's a co-op mode, so we can do some co-op challenges, which is kind of neat, because his strategy is horrible. He just runs out into the open, and this thing is like XCOM. You need to be in half cover or full cover, and he'll just run out in the wilderness. No, I'll get him. This is not Mario. You need to.
No, my lad. You had to be tactical.
You need to hide. That and Wreckfest, I think, are the only two. I don't know. Everything else is kind of in the backlog, staying there. I haven't looked at it. What about you?
So it's mostly been Borderlands 3. I'm doing myself no favors because I'm doing all the side quests. I am still adoring it.
Of course you did.
And the side quests, it's not about, I'm not doing it because I want to get 100. It's just because I really enjoy the content. They're enjoyable side quests. I'm really liking it. So it's not a grind. Gotcha. It's just I'm enjoying all of these things. So I'd like to get through it.
One day.
One day. You'll not believe the game I just downloaded, though. Elite Dangerous.
What?
It's just... the problem is...
Don't you already have that? I thought you had that.
I just mean download it. I got it prepared to play again. It's just because right. I'm never going to get through my list, but it's just because I'll see an online update, people do it, and then I'll see there's a Reddit that has the shots and kind of the interesting events going on. And you see these gorgeous builds and everything. You're just it'd be so nice to go to space right now.
Back in, every time back in.
And I got and I have my desk set up, and I have the big joysticks, right? The That's two nuts. Large joysticks to control it. So, and you see that every day. You're like that'd be a lot of fun to get back in a ship. But you will achieve nothing. It's the worst type of game because it's not like you can beat it. It's just a time sink. So.
Your road trip, right? We had the space road trip happening, and
that's the best. Actually, that's the best part because I loaded it back up, and it was it was the ugly green New Dad Gaming bus.
Oh yeah.
That was
you got to keep that going.
Well, last start I left it. If I remember, I had run out of fuel near a star that did not provide any fuel, I am like 200 jumps away from anything. So the decision will have to be made. Do I just explode and start fresh again? Or, because even the station I'll go to, I mean, like the station, if I explode, I go back to a station, I lose probably like $1 million worth of credits. That's fine, is what it is. But to get from that to just civilization is 200 jumps. It's going to take some time if I want to save my game. So I gotta decide how bad do I want it. And the thing is, like the starting of the game, honestly, is really fun. You got that tiny little ship and you're ripping around. So I don't know.
Right.
We'll see.
Well, good.
Yeah, so we're still stuck in the old, but the industry
definitely
continues to move on. And recently there was the awards for the Gaming Awards for 2019. I didn't get what I thought was really cool was there's actually a few bars near where I live that had it live. I mean, I have kids. I couldn't go to it.
Oh, wow.
But
that's cool.
There was bars in town that you could go and kind of like watch the gaming thing. That would have been fantastic.
That's neat. Yeah.
Did you watch it live? Did you just participate on Twitter? Like, how did you consume it?
I did watch it live and did kind of like a live tweet along. And man, it is long. It was 8:30 to 11:30.
Oh, you can't stay that late. You got kids.
Yeah, I was kind of in and out at 11 o'clock, but yeah, it was long. It was good. It was fun. I don't know. It was a good show. You kind of have to remember that it's more of an award show and not like a conference, because I think people will kind of like expecting some big names to drop. But yeah, it was fun. I would have liked to go into a bar and had like my people kind of watch it instead of the UFC crowd or whatever. But,
yeah, that would have been. Would have been interesting. So it was. So I had to just follow up like the night after. We had kids, and beyond that, it was early morning. So I skipped the entire thing, but catching up on Twitter and everything else.
Yeah.
So you mentioned big names. Like it bears repeating. I think so Elon Musk had arrived there, and one of the soon
this
afterwards,
is him getting there.
I saw this amazing clip of somebody who'd put the Cybertruck into GTA 5 as a mod.
I love it.
I
love how quick the internet is.
It is invincible. It has the 2 broken windows on the side. And it just plows through everything. Oh, it's amazing. Man, GTA 5 I almost considered picking up. Like it was down to like $10 for like the core game.
Oh, okay. So you're the one keeping it on the charts. Like it's still on the charts.
Well, for that price, like it'd
Top
be
10.
like, but it's just like it'd be so big and wide, and I have a lot of games to get to, so I'm still not particularly interested. But yeah, damn, you can't not mention Cybertruck. Oh, you gotta love the internet sometimes. But yeah, so from a data perspective, I think I'd be curious to know if we played any of these games this year. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a good question. You want to take a bet beforehand, or
there's probably one max. I know some of the runners up we probably played.
Yes,
but like I'm talking like probably 5% of these games we've even touched.
I think most of the winners I did not play.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
that I think is a good
bet.
To
pick up a winner.
Yeah. And then beyond that, so we'll do a quick review from a dad perspective of the winners, and then also some of the new trailers that came out as well, because obviously that's a great opportunity. You got the captive audience to talk about. Here's the new game that we're releasing. So they start off with a bang, or I mean, obviously they didn't start off with it, but we start off with a bang. So the game of the year goes to Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. That is it's up against Control. That had a lot of industry buzz. Death Stranding, which feels
kind of like a cult hit almost, right? Like it's
it feels like an art piece where it almost felt like it had to be there to Super Smash Bros, that's interesting that being considered. Resident Evil 2 doesn't feel appropriate because that's a remake of a game, and then The Outer Worlds, which that one I almost would have liked to see given it. You see that list, and like what's kind of your thoughts on it?
I have played one and the demo of Resident Evil, but I have played one, and that's Smash Brothers, which I will say is crazy fun. But yeah, the winner, Sekiro or Sekiro, however you say it. I've always loved the art style, and I loved Tenchu as a kid, and this gives me that vibe. And seeing From Software, I just think it's way too difficult for a dad. Mm-hmm. Like, unless there's a really easy mode where I can just kind of like go around, I find this would be way too difficult. I do want to experience it though. It does look really interesting.
I think that's worth looking into. I had heard that there was they were considering an easy mode that you could download.
Oh yeah,
and there's a usual backlash because like, oh well, just get good.
Oh right, yeah, that's along not the whole Dark Souls of it. Yeah,
so there was pushback. Is like, oh, why would you do that? But I don't know. For folks like us who don't have the time to become study and become mechanically adept, that's such a tight game. Like, just let us enjoy this world. It looks phenomenal.
Like, it does, and I would love to, like you said, get into this world, experience it, and I could beat it if I studied for a year on this thing, but yeah, it's not gonna. I don't have the time.
Not the time.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks like fun. It's cool that it's an interesting. It's new. It's a new IP. Cool aesthetic. Interesting timeline. Like so that's great to see. Best game direction goes to Death Stranding, and it's curious to see Death Stranding featured so much through this. Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of kind of conversation around Jeff Keighley, who kind of runs the Game Awards, and his relationship with Hideo Kojima. Like, they've been best buds for a while. Mm-hmm. So to kind of have Death Stranding in here is kind of maybe just like a buddy system thing. Like, he's throwing it to him. No doubt, like, he does some, like, it looks like a crazy story. Like, if you've ever played any of the Metal Gear, just like times 1,000, it looks nuts, like off the wall, which is great to see. But I think there was a lot more that happened this year in terms of the direction that could have been nominated or even won.
Yeah, it's curious to see that. It's like to see interesting, risky titles get mentioned like that. Like, you do like to see it as far as a medium, so it's not just, Call of Duty wins every year for best game.
Right. But yeah.
The same token, it felt like it felt a little bit hamstrung in there, but
yeah,
it doesn't seem like anything I'm going to be able to play for a while.
That's the problem. I carry my kids everywhere. I don't want to carry stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I don't want to carry another baby. Dad carry simulator. No thanks.
Yeah, that's right.
So the best narrative goes to, and this one. Now this was amazing. This I almost thought could have been or I think you might have mentioned you could have seen this as Game of the Year. Disco Elysium.
Yes.
That is. Man, I so badly want to play this game, and I so badly cannot play this game. I don't have time.
I know.
But it looks so good.
It looks so good, and it's all branching paths, right? Like, everything is conversation choices, and no game is the same. And I've seen reviews on it a couple months back, and it caught my eye, and I'm like, you know what? This is, again, one of those things that I would love to play it, but maybe I'll just watch someone play it because I won't have time to kind of meander through. But good for them.
The true consequences, like difficult subject matter, like interesting style, like the amount of, it's apparently like 6 books worth of text. Like there's actual story to drive into. Like, man,
you even have fights with yourself. So, like, if you start going insane, your mind turns against you, and you start having conversations with yourself. So you're caught up in these own, like, internal, like, monologues, and then you still have to make the choice in the world. It's crazy.
Yeah, no,
I love it.
Yeah, apparently you actually roll, so it's a little bit like D&D in that sense, where there's like chance rolls to try to achieve things. Like, yeah, I think if any time appears to me, this would very much be a game I think I want to get into because. Man, you want to support some wild-looking title like this. This is so cool. So good on them, man. Good for that.
Yeah, that was it. That was a good win.
Yeah. Now, best art direction went to Control. Not one that I had a lot of insight into. Like, I saw the reviewers certainly going nuts for it. There seemed to be a lot of enjoyment around it. The stuff that I did see looked really technically amazing. Like the style, the lighting, the physics. like how you can grab stuff and throw it. Like it looked really impressive. So not much of a surprise. Had you had much awareness of it or any desire to play it?
I did have awareness of it, and it kind of reminded me of in Half-Life 2 when you got the gravity gun, and just having these superpowers to pull things apart and rip things in the environment, and like nothing is concrete, so to speak, looked really cool to me. But then I was like, is it kind of like a one-trick pony where like that's all you're doing every single level? So it does look interesting. I might pick it up if it's on like a sale or something, but again, I'm not sure I dive into this one now.
Looks really Jedi-like.
It's like
they kind of force choking. She's flying at one point from the trailer that we're watching, like ripping stuff apart. Like that looks like you get to feel really powerful, which would be, you always love a game like that. Wow,
just the physics of it is insane. Like you just showed the clip with all the books, and that does look neat, though.
So again, you're seeing a lot of like, for at least these three, like it's kind of unique, interesting new IPs that are kind of taking it. So that's really kind of cool to see. So best music goes to Death Stranding. Best audio goes to Call of Duty. Best performance goes to I apologize for the name, Mads Mikkelsen. Do you know how to pronounce that?
Oh yeah. That's pretty close.
Inside of Death Stranding.
Mads.
Game for Impact. So Greece. So I don't know if that's in Greece is in French, gray. Greece.
Yeah.
Well,
Greece.
So if I go from mispronouncing a name to mispronouncing French words. Devolver Digital did this. Interesting. I didn't know that before.
Yep.
So it looks stunning as far as an illustrative style.
Oh my God, yes. This is the art style that I believe it was on iOS at one point, and I wanted to pick it up, and then it's made its way to all the consoles. So it looks just like you're playing a painting or an illustration, I guess, right? Just the animation of it and the design.
The transitions to me are what are really impressive. Like you can kind of have nice characters that are sprites, but this seems to be so fluid in its animation from one scene to the next, and how stuff is appearing or disappearing. So, I'd say like that's as far as start to our review of these shows, this has been really phenomenal as far as kind of interesting, unique titles, not huge heavy hitters type stuff.
Right, surprising that way, right?
And
but in contrast to that,
to directly counter that, the best ongoing game goes to Fortnite. It's so popular to hate.
I know, Fortnite. I hate that part, right? Like it's become the thing to hate because it was popular, and they've done a lot with this game. Can you imagine going into the boardroom and saying, "Hey, we have an idea for the next big thing. We want to turn our game off and erase the world."
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine? Like, there's no way anybody would say that, okay, cool. And they did it in this game live.
The concert's online. There's a Star Wars event coming up. It's still free. Yep. It's on every device. Like it's getting to the state where you can play it on a microwave. Like it's
yeah, basically.
But it's like people like Ninja and Shroud and like all these other gamers have made their livelihood off of this game. There's tournaments. Like it's something to be celebrated. I think I get it. It's gears more towards a younger audience, but like what an interesting story. And they seem to be, every time we talk about this, we kind of come to the same thing where it's like, it's everywhere. It's big corporate, big money, but they really do seem to be trying to keep it interesting, keep it a game, keep it fun.
Yeah, and they are even adding split screen to at least the PS4. So Couch Co-op is coming, which is great as a dad. Just I can play with my kids if I wanted to.
Yeah, I'd heard like when you get started, I heard they've introduced some bots, and the bots are fairly bad because what people are noticing is like, hey, I'm actually winning some games. This doesn't make any sense. So they did some recon and found out like generally the bots were kind of blowing matches. I kind of want that. Like I'd actually really I would really enjoy like an easy mode to kind of just get in and have a good time for a little while. You and I talked about that for a while. Like we'd really like a sandbox kind of easy mode just to
learn it.
Yeah, just to putz around a bit, because the world is amazing. How are you possibly going to get good at this without kind of experiencing it for a while? So,
yeah.
So I don't know. From my perspective, kudos to them. I think they're doing interesting stuff. They beat out.
I do too.
Notable stuff. So Apex Legends, which, reminder that we won a game of Apex Legends.
That's right. Yeah.
We always have that on our resume.
Screenshot to prove it. Yeah.
Final Fantasy, Destiny 2. Best independent game also goes to Disco Elysium, so picking up more awards.
Yeah,
really interesting there. Untitled Goose Game.
It is so good.
You're a fan of it?
I love it. I played it on the Switch with my kids, and we were all laughing. It is rather short, but to put out a Goose Game and be that popular and have memes about it.
Yeah.
Even the presentation with the Muppets and having it all. Beaker in there too. It's just great.
Yeah. So for those unaware, I only saw it as images before. Like, why don't you walk through what happened at the Game Awards with Beaker and the goose?
They had a goose Muppet, which I want. It's amazing. It's caught hold, and for them to put Beaker to talk about it, and then they put Beaker in the game, and then saying it a skit, so it's not downloadable. You can't do it. But they totally should.
It is absolutely exploded online, though. Like, that's all I saw today. So there's no way they don't put it in. Do you really think they're not going to put it in?
I don't know. You already have the assets made. Like, so just, I don't know, code it in there. I love it.
Why are the Muppets still so fun? So we're currently looking at the Game Awards. We have Beaker and, man, I never know, what's his scientist buddy's name?
I can't remember. I just remember he had no eyes.
Yeah, Beaker and his nerd buddy. Beaker is currently wearing a VR headset, being very Beakerish. Oh my goodness.
He looks perfect. You can't tell me that he doesn't look perfect for this game. Even the honking.
So at this point, Beaker has appeared inside of the Untitled Goose Game, and his animation and his styling is just perfect. If dads are listening to this, go and watch this Beaker and Untitled Goose Game, because this is just a riot. Beaker's fleeing and waddling around.
It's so good.
I imagine the fan. We have the audio off, but I imagine the audience is just like losing it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Hold on. Oh, yeah. There's the.
See the Muppet of the Goose. You kidding me?
And the goose has made it out of virtual reality there. Okay. Man, great pull for the show. That's fun, man. That's really cool that they were able to pull that together.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. It does kind of, like, my kids watch this clip with me, so it does hit a different audience as well.
That's good. It's just like, it's as much as we want to elevate this as an art form and like this is a serious medium, you gotta have some fun sometime.
It's fun.
Man.
You gotta have fun.
All right. So where were we? So they only mentioned because it was nominated. Untitled Goose Game nominated in Best Independent Game. Disco Elysium wins it, which is awesome. Best Mobile Game went to Call of Duty Mobile. Sure. It might be fun.
Right. I haven't played it, so
that's fun, but we're not that targeted. It's hopefully it's good, and like much like Fortnite when it went to mobile, like it's actually kind of a worthwhile experience, and it seems like they've been not. And like an award show like this would, in some ways, I feel, go out of their way to not award something like a Call of Duty. So you'd like to think that they've probably done something interesting to...
Yeah, and it's hard with Best Mobile Game, too, because a lot of ones live on, and it's just released this year, right? So the popular ones, like Fortnite, wouldn't be in here. It's the ones that are released, so...
Yeah. Best Community Support, Destiny 2. So going up against... Yeah, that's right. So going up against Fortnite, Apex, Rainbow Six Siege, and Final Fantasy Online. See, this to me feels like the industry's pushback against Activision Blizzard and their kind of overreach on microtransactions and kind of ruining it. And especially in the community with Destiny, how much they hated how everything costs money. Super small example that used to exist as far as like if you got a shader to color something, you could only use it a certain number of times. So if you wanted to deck yourself out in blue, you probably had to pay for it. But they're gone. Destiny 2 has a ton of new content coming out. They had some free versions, I think, arrive on certain platforms. Like, so that's really, it's a comeback story. They kind of got themselves free of a kind of larger corporate entity, and they went back to their roots and made the fans happy. So it's nice to see. So I think it's like a recognition of, hey, you guys did the right thing. You've really turned this around. And by the way, industry, don't be over greedy.
Yeah. It shows you the strength of the community, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people rag on, you're just complaining, let it be, don't buy it or whatever. But this is a community that was behind this game. And when it screwed up, they let them know. Mm-hmm. And now you got something that is like reborn out of it. So it does look neat, though.
Yeah, it's on my list. I wouldn't mind like diving back in. I had a really great time with it. So I'll be kind of curious how much content I get for free. Not sure I'd really want to buy any new upgrade or not. Maybe. I don't know. We'll kind of see like how the prices go, especially as some of the older stuff kind of comes down in price. But hey, good on Destiny and Bungie. That's cool to see. Best AR and VR goes to Beat Saber. You're personally a big fan of it, of course.
I love it. And they just dropped a Green Day soundtrack, which is pretty cool, and introducing 360. So this thing is usually on a single path, but I think they're now going to that path is all around you, which is crazy. But it is a workout. If you have a VR headset,
is that 360 is in like the blocks are coming at you from...
Well, they say it's 360 gameplay, so I'm assuming they are coming from like around you at some points. I can't see it being just the environment itself because you're looking straight ahead all the time. So I don't know. It's it has been bought out by Facebook, which does worry me. They say they're going to support everything, but you never know. I don't know. It's good for them though. Like they created this game basically in their basement. So
Facebook that has owns Oculus.
Oculus, right? So everyone's thinking exclusive.
Yeah. No, we'll see. Good on them, man. It's such a cool... I think I'm going to have to pick this up because it seems like a perfect... friend comes over, you want to say, hey, check out VR. Like, throw them into this game, and they would just like... You get to have a lightsaber. Like, you got it.
It's it's fantastic. Yeah. Again, lightsabers. Who wouldn't?
Come on, lightsabers.
Come on.
Best action game goes to Devil May Cry 5. Best action adventure goes to... Sekiro, Shadow Dies Twice. So that's like Game of the Year and Best Action Adventure Game.
Yeah.
This is one of the only mentions of Borderlands 3, so sad for myself they didn't take it. That's okay. Man, again with Resident Evil 2, it's not a new game. It's just
wait until Final Fantasy 7 next year. I expect it to be on these things, but it's going to be like remake.
Yeah. We see Best RPG goes to Disco Elysium, beating Kingdom Hearts 3, no less.
It's just crazy.
Best fighting game goes to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That makes total sense. That was a fantastic game that came out.
It's so good.
Best family game to Luigi's Mansion 3. I don't know.
I see how that is.
Yeah, that's fine. I would have almost wanted to give it to Super Mario Maker 2, honestly, for the creativity. Strategy game, Fire Emblem, best sports game and racing game.
So yes, pre-show we looked at this and Trevor just almost blew his mind. I'm like,
I was at a spit take with my coffee. So here's what we have. We have FIFA. FIFA 20 didn't win. FIFA 20 did not win. EA, $500 million, however much it cost to build it. F1 2019, Dirt Rally 2, Evo Pro Evolution Soccer.
All these simulation amazing games.
The winner is Crash Team Racing Nitro.
You know what, Trevor?
It is a Mario Kart wannabe.
Yes.
Remake.
Well, and redone. Yes, redone. Remastered. Remastered.
I mean, you're EA, and you're sitting there in your office, and you've spent millions.
You've scanned faces of how many sports athletes, right? Of FIFA, even the F1, all the cars are 3D scanned. Crash Bandicoot's like, nope.
Yeah, you know the bicep ratio of every third string player in a minor Ukrainian league, but Crash Team, Racing takes the best sports.
There you go.
Title. Oh God, hey man, good on it. I thought about getting it for my kids honestly, but at the time it was like $60, and I was like,
now's 20, the time. It'll go on sale.
20 maybe. Okay, best multiplayer game. Hey, that one goes to Apex Legends. That's cool to see.
It's nice. We won at that.
Reminder that the new dads did win a game of Apex Legends. Yep. It shall be mentioned. Fresh indie game presented by Subway. I'm going to mention that.
I don't know why they. Yeah.
And then at this point, we get into content creators. The only one that I noticed of this was Shroud. So Shroud, I'd seen a bunch of his work with Apex Legends. The rest of all of this is like best esport team, best player, and unfortunately for us, nothing.
I am not in this world. I should be.
It feels like you're going to have to be. I think normal sports will go away. It's all just going to be esports soon.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I don't know anyone though. It's hard to jump in. But
so let's get to. So we, as we're blazing through, let's get to a final few reveals and trailers, and the biggest reveal.
This was surprising.
The latest piece of IKEA furniture.
Right.
The Xbox Series X. So, not to throw shade at it, but it is a very, very bulky, square-looking thing. Now, if I asked you, okay, what is the latest console in the series? Is it the Xbox Series X or the Xbox One X?
I would say Xbox 360. It's a higher number.
Right? Yeah. This is like, come on, man. Like, you're not giving grandmas or moms or dads any chance.
Yeah, no way.
Like,
this is not becoming easy.
I'll say the problem is like with this. So right now it did it's trying to do a reveal. It's currently doing a trailer. At this stage, you would have no idea that this is any better or worse than current systems. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
Especially first, it's a rendered trailer, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like, it's really getting to a point where it's getting kind of hard to distinguish these generations, right?
Right. It's not that jump that I saw from Super Nintendo to PlayStation, where it was Final Fantasy VII. Like, that was a huge jump for me. I'm like, what? We're out of like 2D land into 3D. Now it's like, yeah, there's more detail, but it's nothing I haven't seen, even with PC and mods of Witcher 3, let's say. So it's getting to a weird area where, do I buy into this right now? Is this all like, maybe if I play it, I'll have more of a sense of it. But seeing like this preview video reminds me of that Killzone, the infamous Killzone video that was shown for PS3 that turned out to be just completely rendered and no gameplay. I don't know. It doesn't excite me as much, even if this was PS5. Like, let's say it doesn't grab me as much.
Yeah, the next, I suppose what I'm curious, there needs to be a jump as far as interactivity. So if it's NPCs have more actual AI and there's kind of more varied interactions with what happens to what you do. If like there's actually kind of true destruction, like you could blow up a mountain in a town and the game's gonna be able to kind of shift around it. If all this comes down to it's going to be a little bit prettier, I have a hard time really caring, because I'm just not looking at this current gen and thinking, improve the visuals of God of War. It's like, I guess, sure.
I guess you could add a little bit more, effects and detail, but yeah, I get what you're saying. It doesn't look ugly, so yeah, I'm on board if it's like better AI. Faster loading. I swear to God, if we can get rid of load times, it'd be great. But we never will, because graphics go up, resolution goes up, and that load time is just there. You have to hide it, much like God of War. So I think people get a little bit more creative with those limitations. But this new reveal looks definitely like a PC. It almost looks like you could open this thing up, and everything's in like a slot or a deck, and you just stick in the next Series XS, whatever the next series is, into it to upgrade it, almost like a Lego PC build.
I heard it's full backwards compatibility.
Which is great, but I can't remember the last time I've played a PS3 game on my PS4. Yeah. Not to say that you can, like that it is challenging because it's PS Now that you have to do. But if I'm getting a new console, I want to play the new stuff.
Yeah, right? Very true. I think it's just like, if in our case currently, it's funny because in many ways it only really pays dividends for the first, I feel, for like that first year. Because you currently have your whole library. And if you get the new system, it's like, okay, well, now I can't play any of those old games if I'm still playing them before jumping into the next. Like, especially, let's say they announced the Xbox, but we'll reference the PlayStation. Because imagine like getting the new PlayStation comes out, you can't play any of your PSVR games on it.
Yeah.
Right.
I could see that for sure. I keep my old systems though. I guess it's for people that trade it in too. Yeah. Like, it would be a little bit more cumbersome, right? Because then my TV stand is filled with old consoles that I may play for my backlog on a previous gen system. Like, let's not add to more than we can handle.
Okay, let's wrap things up with the so lots of trailers, lots of game releases or announcements.
Yeah.
So as we're kind of going through here, we're not going to hit every single one, but there's No More Heroes 3. Looked interesting. Like, it's kind of keeping with its funky, interesting, cool art style. I've never played one.
I have not either.
Not for lack of desire, but kind of just amongst everything else, like, it's never really come across. But I know that it has a big loyal fan base, so it's kind of cool that they've kept it up. A little game called Final Fantasy VII had a new trailer.
Yeah, that little thing.
Man, you'd mentioned the what was your tweet? Oh man, the music.
It's the music. It sucks me right back in. It's so good. It's pre-order, man. I don't pre-order anything, but that's my childhood. I have to.
Yeah, that'll be fun. We will forgive
regardless of how much money.
So that was a new. So March is going to be a real interesting. I cannot wait to talk to you in March.
Oh yeah, bye.
Yeah. So we had Godfall was announced. This is the first kind of official PS5 game.
Yes.
It's kind of a lame
exclusive PS5 to Epic Store as well. So it's PC.
I'll be honest. I feel it was a little bit lame in so much it was just a cinematic. So it's like, to what extent is it PS5? Like, it's kind of a. If you're trying to prove the PS5, you didn't really do anything for us.
No. Yeah. Wasn't much.
Yeah. Bravely Default 2. I know that had a really great receiving as far as Bravely Default, so that's great. Warframe. Yeah. So us dads got into Warframe for a bit.
Yeah.
Awesome game.
Warframe is one that just keeps on going forever, and they keep reinventing it, which is crazy. So it's great to see.
Yeah, now you can control ships. It still looks amazing. Still free somehow. Like, it's just
how they do it.
It's good, man. It's amazing. Again, much like Fortnite, it's just one of those things that just keeps on going, and it'd be fun to dip back into. I want to see what those trailers go.
For sure.
There was some stuff around Magic the Gathering. Control, so there was an expansion, so that's great. Sons of the Forest, that looked terrifying.
Creepy. Yeah,
super creepy
stuff.
So really interesting horror entry. Ruined King. The only reason that was interesting, so it's League of Legends, which is the MOBA.
Yeah.
And this is their first foray into what I believe is an RPG. So they're going to play in that world and have a kind of just full game, kind of fleshed out. So that's kind of cool for fans.
Yeah.
A new Ori game, Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
That looks great. So good.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That's on my list to play.
There is amazing. Yeah,
that's on my list to play the original Ori.
Get your Switch.
Now this one I think this might have captured me the most, and I don't know why. But
it's Devolver, man. It captures everybody. It's like, what?
Weird West. It looks like a bit of like a Diablo as far as the isometric view and that sort of macabre, wild look. But it's a Western, but it's a Night of the Living Dead Western. Like, just everything's
got some like alien thing to it.
Yeah, super wild, super interesting looking. like in the way they were narrating the story, like it just in the little clips, it was demonstrating. It seemed like a really cool little, not little. It seemed like a really cool game. It might have been honestly the one I'm most interested in of everything we saw. Weird West Devolver, those guys. Had some Magic's new games, the Magic the Gathering, Magic Legend, Ghost of Tsushima, which I think is it a confirmed trailer or prequel to Shadows Die Twice, or is it unrelated?
It's unrelated, but they finally gave a release date. Thank God.
Okay.
It's summer 2020, which people are thinking this would be pushed to the next gen.
Oh,
nope.
Interesting.
Summer 2020. It'll be the last probably game for it.
Yeah, we have Gears Tactic.
Yeah, that was kind of neat.
Naraka Blade Point. What is that like?
That's the first Chinese entry, Chinese gaming company. So it was kind of interesting to see that.
I'd be curious to see how they would take what they would do with story and gameplay. I'd be kind of curious to check it when it comes out.
Like a breath of fresh air, so to speak. Just kind of interesting.
Green Day comes to PSVR Beat Saber, I should say.
Yep.
It's a mobile game. So New World. So it's a online multiplayer game. I think what's interesting about it, I didn't see much as far as like gameplay or anything, but it's from Amazon.
Yeah, which we all know they have a gaming section, but nothing's ever really come from it.
Yes, gaming, and it's a it's interesting. Their first entry would be into like the big, huge multiplayer game too. I'll be curious to see how that one goes. Yeah, 9 to 5, some sort of tactical shooter. Wolf Among Us, a Telltale series. So Wolf Among Us 2. That is that's interesting because it's like, did you bring back former devs you had to fire because you went bankrupt? Did somebody just kind of take the
by your name
kernels from the dying husk? Like, what exactly happened with this one?
Yeah, I never really played the Telltale series except for the Walking Dead one, and that was enough for me. So I know there's an audience for it, and I hope they're excited for this. But I'm just curious on who kind of put this out.
Yeah, everyone will remember that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll be curious. Yeah, I think that some stories will come from this. Like, how did this game come around? Did a Skeleton staff stay on and finish it? Is it kind of a small rebirth to see if they can kind of restructure the company? We'll have to see. Elder Scrolls gets some new content, new VR game, and Fast and the Furious didn't look that good.
That's the game they ended the show with.
Yeah. It's a weird get. Like, they had, I think they could have got bigger stars, but they went with Vin Diesel.
Yeah. And, well, he's a big gamer.
Michelle Rodriguez.
He's a big WoW head. He is big into World of Warcraft. So it's interesting that way.
I think D&D as well. But,
yes.
You know what? When I first saw this, I hadn't noticed that Wrath was a VR game for Oculus.
You need a PC VR version, so you can get your Elite Dangerous on.
VR storytelling game, RPG, story-based RPG. Not a lot of content in there, but still looks interesting.
No.
So big show. I think it's really kind of cool to see the some interesting awards come out. The Disco Elysium, Greece, and then I'm forgetting one of the other, like Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Like, it was a fascinating kind of series of wins, and it looked like a well-produced show, maybe a little on the long side, but
a little on the long side. But again, all those reveals to be on this show, especially a console drop, within 5 years. Like, this show is only 5 years young, so that's pretty crazy to me. So it's good.
Look at all these games we won't have time to play.
Look at all the money I can't spend on this.
I gotta put kids through college. So of course we'd love to hear from any dads out there. If you had any other takes, or if there's any other big moment for you as a dad gamer that you'd like to discuss, we're going to be the next episode will be the Dad Game Awards. So we try to do this once a year. The games that, of course, we actually got to play, which is not many. The games we're most excited about, the ones we want to mention from a dad's perspective and a family's perspective in particular. If you out there, the gaming dads, have anything you'd like to see mentioned, nominated, awarded, or just any other thoughts, of course, we'd love to hear you write in. Reach out to us at our website or Twitter or Instagram at New Dad Gaming. I would love to hear from you gaming dads to see what might be best for us gaming dads and what deserves some awards.
This you may hear of a console drop on our show. We might have some special guests. Who knows? You'll have to tune in.
Nintendo Switch Lite.
Extra light.
The 4DS. That's how it's coming. You heard it here first.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you want to get a hold of us, as I mentioned, you can find us at Twitter or Instagram at New Dad Gaming. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and any of the other podcasting services. We'd really appreciate a like, a review, and passing along to any other gaming dads who need to know what games they didn't play but did win awards. So they can add it to their backlog they'll never touched. Because we have kids, and specifically, my name is Trevor, and I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old.
We'll see you next week.
See you.